from Yes We Cannibal. Welcome to this week's edition of Beat Beat.
My name is Will C. I am the Circle City Bandit, musician from Indianapolis, Indiana. Found my way down to good old Red Stick about 2 years ago. So I just recorded an album with a local musician, Garen Costa. So I'm gonna be playing some of those songs for you today. That'll be out on all platforms on October 30th, iTunes, Spotify. But I'm gonna start out with a little rip-off song. This is an old folk tune called "I Know You Rider," and the Grateful Dead do a lot of good versions of it, and also a '70s bluegrass band called the Seldom Scene does some good versions of it too. So I hope you enjoy mine. Rider, gonna miss me when I'm gone. Well, I know you, rider, gonna miss me when I'm gone. You're gonna miss your baby from rolling in your arms. Lay down last night, I could not take my rest. I laid down last night, I could not take my rest. And my mind was rolling like a wild geese in the west. The sun's gonna shine on my back door someday. Yeah, the sun's gonna shine on my back door someday. Yeah. And the wind's gonna blow all my troubles away. Wish I was a headlight on a northbound train. I wish I was a headlight on a northbound train. Outshine my light through the cool Colorado rain. So I know you, rider, gonna miss me when I'm gone. And I know you, rider, gonna miss me when I'm gone. You're gonna miss your baby from rolling in your arms. Right on. Thank you. That's always a fun one to start out with. I like to have fun from the beginning. That's mainly what I'm an advocate of is fun. This is one off the album that we just recorded. It's called "Dragging the Horse." But the name of this track is "Roll Me Out December," and it's about one of the particular times I was in Indianapolis and strung out and homeless, and up there the winters are a little harsher, and you get some snow, and you might have to sleep on a exhaust vent in the parking garage with a cardboard over it to so you don't freeze to death. So I was just in survival mode, but So something pretty came out of it, you know, this song. So I hope y'all enjoy it. Roll me out, December, I'm fighting your winds, hoping time to learn to be your friend. Roll me out, December, I'm here again, nowhere else to go. Roll me out, December, and please be rather light. Hard times have come upon again. Roll me out, December, I'm coasting in your dreams. Your night skies are more than I can take. Roll me out, December, I hate to see my breath. Only way I know that I'm alive. Roll me out, December, yeah, summer's done and gone. Nothing like the Indiana Greggy. Roll me out, December, and take me by your hand. Take me back home. Roll me out, December, and let me see your face. Let me live to see another day. And I'm still bleeding out the pain I kept from last year. A different day and soon another year. Wake to find the snow of yesterday is gone, but your winds say another fall tonight. And I've gone searching for the light beneath this hallowed moon. This full blanket holds me in my place. So roll me out, December. Roll me on back home. Roll me out, December. Roll me out, December, and keep these candles bright, so I won't freeze tonight. Roll me out, December, I'm trying to see my ways. The windshield is covered with your snow. So roll me out, December, I'm here again, and I've nowhere else to go. Right on. Thank you, thank you. Got a little toasty out there today. I was out at the Sugar Fest earlier over across the bridge in Port Allen shooting some, taking some pictures. Henry Turner Jr. and Kenny Neal. Is that his name? Yeah, Kenny Neal. Thank you, Alex. This one's called Queen of Clubs. About another situation back in Indianapolis. And I wanted to call it Queen of Spades, but I just felt like spades was a little too overrated and clubs don't get enough attention. So I figured I'd show them some love. Shattered glass and half-burned cigarettes tell a silent tale that no one ever heard. And I don't lean, and you don't need nothing from me. And together we just sit here and shoot the shit. We're a long way from New York. I'm in the same town I was born, and it seems to me there's only one road home.
And it seems to me there's only one road home. And Katie never leave her side. She looked like death at 35. We ain't the only shadows in this room. When the folks go out at night, only some of them arrive to find a place to be alone. And we're a long way from New York. I'm in the same town I was born. And it seems to me there's only one road home. And it seems to me there's only one road home. So don't go chasing what you dream. You may fall and trip and drift away into your disbelief. And when you wake and then you see that you ain't what you thought you'd be, and far worse than what the nightmares bring. Far worse than what the nightmares bring. And I walk slowly to your side of the room, but you're fast asleep, and I want to wake you from your dreams. But time goes by to wake you up. From your nose I see the blood, and you went chasing what you dreamed. Now you're back in old New York. I'm still right where I was born. And it seems to me there's only one road home. Seems to me there's only one road home. So don't go chasing what you dream. You may fall and trip and drift away into your disbelief. But when you wake, then you see you ain't half what you thought you'd be. Far worse than what the nightmares bring. And it seems to me there's only one road home. And it seems to me there's only one road home. Thank you, thank you. This one's not on the project. This was like one of the first batch of songs that I wrote when I came down here. I'm used to kind of playing with other folks. I've been in a hip hop group and an R&B group, and then jamming a lot of blues and funk with other local musicians up there. And so when I came down here, I was really I was a bit isolated, and I really had to. I wanted to keep playing music, but I really didn't have anybody else to play it with, and so that's where a lot of these songs came from, just because I didn't have anybody else to jam with, and so I just started writing and pushing myself more on the acoustic front. But this one's called Something's Missing. It's not on the project, but it'll surely be on some project at some point. Something is missing, it seems I won't find. And I'm seeing again through the eyes of a child. The keys to the world might take me a while, but I'll find it's all in my mind. Yesterday's blessings ain't counting today. We'll try that again. Yesterday's blessings ain't counting today. Each day I don't count, I get farther away. In the end it will be as it was today, and you'll find it's all in your mind. Don't go looking for rainbows if you can't stand the rain. The sound of the raindrops may sweep you away. Say what's the use, but it's never too late, 'cause I'll find it's all in my mind. My trust in the world, it waxes and wanes. Sometimes I feel like I'm playing a game. Then I rise again, and I find again, yeah, it's all in my mind. Something is missing, it seems I won't find. And I'm dreaming again through the eyes of a child. The keys to the world might get left behind, but I'll find it's all in my mind. Right on. Thank you. Thank you. Getting a little warm in here. This is another one. This one's going to be on the album. I don't really, well, it's about whatever you want it to be about. Sitting here alone in a place I pick my bones, skin of my teeth about to fall, racing through my thoughts, wishing I had never saw that side of me that nailed me to the floor. And I'm hoping that you know that I'm far beyond the hope you keep praying for to find me in my dreams. No more sorries in my store, I can sell you anymore. The shelves won't even hold a grain of hope. And before I close up shop, I'm gonna take this one last shot, pull the bullet from the drawer that bears my name. And before I close up shop, I'm gonna take this one last shot, pull the bullet from the drawer that bears my name. Please don't try to understand, there ain't nothing in this land. Technicolor just don't mix with film noir. Remember when you said you've already mourned my death? I hope that it don't hurt when you hear the news. So before I close up shop, I'm gonna take this one last shot. Pull the bullet from the drawer that bears my name. And before I close up shop, I'm gonna take this one last shot. Pull the bullet from the drawer that bears my name. Glass and stinging pain, blood and sweat and tears again. Ain't got no words to protect you from my ways. And now that I have died, I can wipe away your eyes. I killed that side of me that nailed me to the floor. And before I close up shop, I'm gonna take this one last shot. Pull the bullet from the drawer that bears my name. And before I close up shop, I'm gonna take this one last shot. Pull the bullet from the drawer that bears my name. Right on. Thank you. Thank you. Cover song, maybe switch it up to a little lighter mood. Anybody in here ever listen to any John Prine? Yeah. So I grew up, in a big Irish Catholic family. I'm the second youngest of 19 cousins, and all my uncles play guitar. So we would do like family sing-alongs. I don't know if that's like a thing anymore. But you get together and the cards come out and the dominoes come out, and then fire gets started outside and the guitars come out, and they played a lot of different stuff, mainly kind of 60s folk, and but Prine's the one that I really took a liking to, just because of his sense of humor, but also like a deep earnestness of just little life lessons that he throws in there, but you laugh really hard at it. So I'm gonna do my best on this version of Please Don't Bury Me. I woke up this morning, put on my slippers, walked into the kitchen and died. And oh, what a feeling as my soul went through the ceiling and on up into heaven I did ride. And when I got there, they did say, John, it happened this way. You slipped upon the floor and hit your head. Now the angels say just before you passed away, these were the very last words that you said. Please don't bury me down in that cold, cold ground. No, I'd rather have them cut me up, pass me all around. Throw my brain in a hurricane, and the blind can have my eyes, and the deaf can take both of my ears if they don't mind the size. Give my stomach to Milwaukee if they run out of beer. I'll put my socks in a cedar box, just get them out of here. Hand me down my walking cane, it's a sin to tell a lie. Send my mouth way down south and kiss my ass goodbye. Please don't bury me down in that cold, cold ground. No, I'd rather have them cut me up and pass me all around. Throw my brain in a hurricane, and the blind can have my eyes, and the deaf can take both of my ears if they don't mind the size. Give my feet to the footloose, the careless, fancy free. Give my knees to the needy, no, don't pull that stuff on me. Hand me down my walking cane, it's a sin to tell a lie. Send my mouth way down south to kiss my ass goodbye. I just wanted to say that line twice. Please don't bury me down in that cold, cold ground. No, I'd rather have them cover me up, pass me all around. Throw my brain in a hurricane, and the blind can have my eyes. The deaf can take both of my ears, they don't mind the size. Right on, appreciate it. Maybe do one or two more, and then Mr. Alex Cook will be showing some of his awesome sketches and playing some of his beautiful music. Real excited. Yeah, we'll do another fun cover one, and then I'll finish out with the last track of the album. It's technically a Rolling Stones cover, but I don't ever listen to the Stones version of it. I'm more of a Townes Van Zandt fan. When you're sitting there in your silk upholstered chair, you're talking to some rich folks that you know. I hope you don't see me with my ragged company. Well, you know I could never be alone. Take me down, little Susie, take me down. I know you think you're the queen of the underground. Send me dead flowers every morning. Send me dead flowers by the mail. Send me dead flowers to my wedding. And I won't forget to put roses on your grave. When you're sitting back in your rose pink Cadillac, making bets on Kentucky Derby Day, I'll be in my basement room with a needle and a spoon and another girl to take my pain away. So take me down, little Susie, take me down. I know you think you're the queen of the underground. Send me dead flowers every morning. Send me dead flowers by the mail. Send me dead flowers to my wedding. And I won't forget to put roses on your grave. Yeah, yeah. Right on. Thank you, thank you. That's just such a fun song to play. And like I said in the beginning, I'm a big advocate of fun. This will be the last one I'm gonna do today, and then get Alex to jump up. This is probably like my favorite song, and at least that has the most meaning to me. And the cool thing about writing songs is like having kids, maybe. I don't know. I don't have any kids, so I guess that's a poor analogy for me to say. But it's really cool because the you have an intention and a purpose for it, or it just falls out of your head. But then the meaning of it grows, over time, and it takes on different meanings. And depending on whatever you're working through in your life, you can use it for whatever you need it for at that point. So this one's called 10 Years Peace, and it's kind of letting the idea of who you were maybe 10 years back, squander the opportunities you have in the present moment. So it's a reflective piece. She got colder, she got older, and I ain't judging her, I'm just saying my piece. And she's grown tired of what she hides behind, and she told me so with a face I'd never seen. He feels cheated, like his soul is gone. He talk with God at times when anger burns away his eyes. He did some prison time when he was 22. His drinking killed a man, and he often hears his cries. Remember when we were young, the world was still so bright and pure, and we never got cold. And now a candle in a heavy wind, we keep holding on to what we think we were. She don't sleep much, she waits up for the stars, drinking coffee black at the table alone. And she shoots a 9-ball at Lefty's Tavern, leaves out with different men who have a father's eyes. So find me innocence, and find me recompense, 'cause I ain't seen myself in the light in quite some time. And find me hopefulness, and find me anything to mend my wounds and wash away my mind, yeah. And we keep going down a road, and We can't quite seem to recognize why dead eyes won't glow. And though we've been here before, we keep drifting 10 years back, just fighting off the rains. He's been 10 years out from Branchville now, but he's still held down like when they came in the night. He keeps these secrets from his wife and kids. If he reveals himself, will they love him as he is? So find me innocence and find me recompense, 'cause I ain't seen myself in the light in quite some time. And find me hopefulness and find me anything to mend my wounds and wash away my mind, yeah. Going down a road, and we can't quite seem to recognize why dead eyes won't glow. Woo! Thank you so much for coming out, folks. I'm Will C, the Circle City Bandit. You can check me out on the Instagram. Alex V. Cook is coming up next. Right on.
Members here, and they asked me to come do something, and I thought I could just come up and just do my normal thing, but this is a place about praxis, and I don't really know what praxis is, but I think this might be it. So I'm wanted to do stuff that I started drawing recently as kind of a part of my creative praxis, and they started intertwining with the songs and kind of gave me a way to do this. This is one that this is me, like holding my heart out for people, because that's what creating art is like. People think it's very like, oh, I'm opening my heart to you. And it's really more of like, no, here. Like, I don't know what to do with this. You know, as a dude, some of you are dudes out there that, you know, understand that feelings are suspect at best and not to be trusted a lot of times. So that's how this feels. It's great to be in a gallery. I like to be in an art thing. Hey, next slide. Oh, look at that. All right, because I used to be like an artist. People say, are you an artist? When people ask what you do, like a long time ago, I used to say, I am an artist. And I don't really have any of that artwork anymore because I thought most of it was probably terrible and suspect, just like my feelings at the time. But I took a trip out to see my sister to move my mom across the country. And it turns out my sister has a bunch of my old artwork that I completely forgot. Like she said, you can sleep in the basement. And this monstrosity was waiting for me at the bottom of the steps. And she said, yeah, you gave that to me when I graduated college. And it's like, that totally sounds like something I would do. It's like, here's here's your big accomplishment. Here's a thing I made. It's called Exploded Face. Like that's, you know, how it was back then. But yeah, the creative process still is there, and everything's tied into it. When I did these kind of things, I was under the guile of Robert Rauschenberg, who said he liked to act in the place between art and life, and that really meant something big to me then. I don't know really what it means when he says that, but so I basically did like hacky versions of Rauschenberg stuff, and but it's still there. So now that we're no longer incidental, you can go to the next slide. There we go. So part of my creative practice also is trying to avoid the creative practice because it's a compulsive thing. And so I'll just try to watch TV. I start watching Star Trek, like all of them, all the time. Like I would watch like 4 hours of Star Trek. And thinking like, okay, that'll calm my mind down. But then I'd start falling asleep, and then I'd wake up and see something. And it would trigger the whole thing again. This one came out of, I just kind of looked up, and we had the closed captions on the TV because we're old, and we have that on there. And I just saw the word Blaster Ray in parentheses on a black screen. And I was like, that is so cool. That would be like the coolest name, Blaster Ray. So I wrote a song about a dude named Blaster Ray. Blaster Ray gets hungry, wants to go somewhere, but nothing's open at this hour. Blaster Ray gets lonely, doesn't mind being alone. He's just given to melancholy, and Blaster Ray pulls up to a mirror and combs his hair, and he's so beautiful. So yeah, I've kind of drew this picture of Blaster Ray. I shouldn't talk while I'm trying to remember these chords. Oh, and Blaster Ray, he pulls up to the sky and says his goodbyes. He's so beautiful, so beautiful, so beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Next slide. Next slide. All right. So after I did that, I was like, wrote the song and figured I should go to sleep. And of course, before going to sleep, I scroll through Instagram because it's important. And when you scroll through Instagram at any time, you will come across new content from Britney Spears. And Britney Spears' Instagram content is awesome. It's the best thing she's ever done. And I came across something, and I had an idea, and it was right at the beginning of the pandemic, and you know, everything was weird and everything was strange. And to accompany the image, I said, why Britney Spears with antlers? Maybe I ate a bunch of chicken and thought about my friend Minji, who loves chicken and Brittany more than you love anything, which is true. Those of you who know Minji, he loves fried chicken and Britney Spears more than anything in the world. And maybe because the world is so weird that only now I just noticed 2 hurricanes were coming. Remember that? The beginning of the pandemic? Remember how adorably catastrophic it seemed back then when we only had 2 hurricanes? And then maybe it was because I was in a hotel in Vegas and she was posterized life side on the elevator doors and would slide open and close, and those Nefertiti eyes would look at you like she was going to appear at any moment. And seeing her on Instagram and how she seems trapped like the rest of us, maybe a little more trapped. And then the news started to come out about how trapped she was. And now she's sort of untrapped. I don't know how really untrapped she is, but next slide. This is the picture of Britney Spears with antlers. That for some reason I had this, I don't know where the antlers thing came from, but it just seemed like a good idea. And I wrote a song about Britney Spears. It's called Britney in Space. I think they're keeping Britney in a space capsule. Favorite clothes from home. 'Cause when she spins around, she floats in air. They pump in from somewhere. Things got too heavy in full gravity. Live down there. She learned special skills. Maybe karate and in a rocket. Let's down her hair. Squint your eyes as you see her streaming by. Don't ask why. She paints the sky. She paints her nails. They're keeping Britney in a space capsule on authority of the man. Keep her safe from herself and others, and when it's clear, then let her land. Oh, Britney, it's your money. Come on, honey. Won't you please come home? Thanks. All right, so I do all these things and think that it's like, you know, it's good enough that you just write songs, but, you know, the ego wants what the ego wants. So we post all this to Instagram. So next slide, please. So then I posted the picture of Blaster Ray and told, you know, all these people that are dying to know my every thought about the idea of Blaster Ray. And I said that it's been a while since I drew anything, which was a total lie when I posted, because I draw and write these things all the time. But I said maybe the next thing I'll do is a picture of his drinking buddy, Drew Anything. So next slide, please. There's his buddy, Drew Anything. That picture is the guy that hangs around him. And I pictured like Blaster Ray as being the kind of quiet guy that you know, but you don't know really well. And Drew is the guy who never shuts up, and he lies all the time. So this is about Drew. When Drew rains down the stories, it's like someone put the squeeze on a cloud. when he starts, think we all just like to drown. It's like he's swinging a lasso, just trying to catch a truth. His hope is rope, don't get caught on the proof. One day old Drew is gonna draw his final breath. Before he does, it's gonna talk us all to death. All right, that's a quick one. So this next one, next slide, please. So speaking of liars, I did not have a picture, but I wrote a song about Pinocchio. And so this is from the original, from the 1800s picture of Pinocchio. This is from the original book. And one of the cool things I read about this was that, you know, whenever Pinocchio would lie, his nose would grow, in case you're unfamiliar with the Pinocchio story. And but in the original book, the blue fairy felt bad for him. So whenever his nose would get too big, she would send out woodpeckers to peck it back. And it's like, that would be the coolest tattoo. It's like woodpeckers taking down Pinocchio's nose. But we don't have that right now. I've got a million good tattoo stories. No ideas, no tattoos, but lots of good ideas. The best one I think I have is for a check engine light over my heart. I think that would be a good one. So here's a song about Pinocchio. I'm a real boy, used to be a fancy toy, used to have someone else pulling the strings, didn't care much about anything, and then I woke up in the belly of a whale, somewhere at the bottom of the deep blue sea. I said, something weird's happening to me, and I made a final wish. Really was a lie, and now I'm a real boy. Yes, I'm a real boy who would wanna be real boy, not me. To have all of life's joys slip through your fingers where nothing but the memory lingers now on wooden skin. And a wooden heart, one you can't pierce with a carbide drill or one of Cupid's darts. I made a final wish, really was a lie, and now I am real. I'm real. Never want to be real boy, but you made me a real boy. I made that final wish, really was a lie, and now I am real. Thanks. All right, next slide. All right, so this is one. Jeremiah over here kind of sort of helped inspire this. He did this great photo essay of a hotel and motels in Tucumcari. And I started thinking about these. And I wrote this, I had this like kind of dreamy, jazzy song, so I wrote this one about 3 women in a motel in East Texas. It's called Little Mints on the Pillows. Inez spent all her money getting across the border. Some dealer boyfriend set up for her. She held her head up high, so they packed her into a semi. Next thing she saw was a Texas sky, and she stayed afloat by cleaning houses till this job came around, setting those little mints on the pillows. Well, Therese, she ran afoul of her dealer. He says, I got a job for you. And the hotel clerk acts like such a jerk when he's printing out her key card. There's both know what they're to do. Well, she doesn't have much to say. She lies back naked on the duvet and eats those little mints off the pillows. Well, Sudepta married a man she didn't know was a fool. Said a motel pays for itself in a year or 2, and she lives in a little room right behind the desk, watches her stories on a motel set. She's so tired she lets out a sigh, and she goes online and orders more little mints for the pillow. All right, so I like story songs. It's one of those things that you can do in a painting and you can do in a drawing and photograph and whatever, is try to tell a complicated story. I have the sketchbook where a lot of these are sitting around if anybody wants to mess around with that. Next slide. Oh, here, next slide, please. There we go. This is one I wrote for the band. We haven't never gotten around to it, but we might do this one. But this is called A Dog Named Spite. Have you ever heard of a guy named Terry Allen? He's a Texas songwriter. This was totally after I heard The Girl Who Danced Oklahoma, which is like an amazing song. This is my own kind of rip-off of that, but it's called A Dog Named Spite. Had a dog named Spite and a beat-up truck and a warrant next county over, and he had a girlfriend he didn't really like. If he was honest, didn't really know her when she danced, like swaying trees in the breeze of God's creation. He fell in love that night of the club, not with her, but with her gyrations. He had a problem with his anger, and with cocaine and alcohol, not all the time, but sometimes. And in those times he's balls to the wall. So they rounded up the dog, got in the truck, headed out on a bender, wound up in a motel next county over on an 8-ball 3-day weekender. She danced on the bed, jumped up to be with her. The best he was able, he kind of pushed her, she kind of fell and banged her head on the bedside table, and there she lay in her underwear with blood pooling on the floor. Dragged her to the bathtub, got instant sober with a banging on the door. Evening, officer, we've had complaints. Well, I tried to keep it down, but he wound up in handcuffs 'cause of that dog. Was really going to town on the bathroom door, tried to tear it down. Goddamn dog. Dog's name is Spike. Spell it S-P-I-T-N-D. All right. Next slide. All right, so this is an older drawing that I did. That is from our band, the Rakers, first album, and we wanted something very Baton Rouge to tie it to that fit with us. And so I thought about the Regina Theater, which was the last adult movie theater in Baton Rouge that was still open. Still open in college, and I never actually went. I remember a couple of us were like, we were geared up to go because we were all just like John Waters nuts. We were like, this is the most John Waters thing you could do in Baton Rouge. And we chickened out when we got there. But I know enough people who went to the Regina, so I've got this story. So this song is called Regina. These doors open up too easy. Don't look down when you take your seat. Don't make eye contact either. You don't know who's in me, who's in me. Don't know the names of those women stretched out on the screen, wider than the trailer you live in. You can't shake what you've seen, what you've seen at the Regina. Normally Lance does a really great solo in here, but he didn't bring his guitar, so. So I'll do it. They say God is watching in moments like these. Where was he when I was performing heroic deeds? Instead he's in the sea right next to me at the Regina. It's in the sea right next to me at the Regina. Next slide, please. The Regina was at the corner of Plank and Choctaw. And it was there forever. I was like, anytime there's like a Facebook group for old photos of Baton Rouge, that's terrible. Like anytime you post something, people like, I remember that rally's good hamburgers. Like, yeah, okay, then glad you have fond memories of fast food restaurants in Baton Rouge. Yeah. Yeah. They did them at the same time, like the same day. Like they would run like cartoons in the morning and then have that, because like, I hope they cleaned up. So yeah. All right. So this song is a true story that happened to one of my bandmates. This guy right here, by the name of Iron Jaw Sampson. Our bass player Lewis worked at a bar called Your Father's Mustache in the French Quarter. Make what you want out of that. And this guy came in that looked like this. And this is the story of it. So this cat walks into the bar where I'm working at. He's wearing a shirt made out of gold chains. Asks anybody got a light bulb? So we fish him one out the back. Then he proceeds to put it in his mouth. Then he turns it all around. He chops it down. He eats the bulb. He eats the stem. He eats that little thing inside. All the way down. And I told him, no, you can't do that. No, you can't do that. No, you can't do that. Oh, yes, I can. 'Cause I'm Iron Jaw Sampson. So then he asked, does anybody have a can of anything, like a can of tuna fish or a can of peas? Have one for my lunch, so I gave it to him. He looks at me and says, look at me, I'm the human can opener. Put it in his mouth. He took the lid off. He ate the lid, ate the sides, ate the bottom, ate the tuna fish, the whole thing. Label and all. Label and all. I told him, no, you can't do that. No, you can't do that. No, you can't do that. Oh! Yes, I can. 'Cause I'm Iron Jaw Samson. What kind of dreams does a man like that have? What kind of dreams are up in his metal head? He says, yeah, I got me a dream. One day I'm going to eat an entire car. I'm going to start at the bumper, eat the lights, eat the grill, eat the engine block, eat the tires, eat the oil, eat the whole damn thing, all the way down to the puff of smoke from the exhaust pipe. We said, no, you can't do that. No, you can't do that. No, you can't do that. Yes, I can. 'Cause I'm Iron Jaw Samson. So now anytime I see someone who's got a car that's got to get rid of, like it's up on blocks, or it's just got to be gone, I tell him, bruh, I know a guy. Thank you. Thank you. Next slide, please. This is how they do it with TED Talks. All right. This one is like, I play this at all my solo shows. I didn't think I was going to do it. Then I got the idea to draw the picture for it. This one is a really popular one that I do. I play solo at this terrible bar in Metairie. Like, it's a metal bar. And for some reason, they got my name, and they're like, yeah, you ought to come play, come open. So they have me open for like some metal band, like in my little cowboy shirt, my little guitar. And like, I was like, well, the doorman, I've played there enough that I've gotten to know him. The doorman really likes this song. So this may be the one that keeps me in there. This is called Harry Potter and the Iron Maiden Girl. Was a Harry Potter look-alike, skinny jeans and a single-speed bike, and he carried a tote bag he purchased at a record store in Austin. She wore an Iron Maiden shirt she procured with a flirt from some guy at her apartments. Didn't mind 'cause flirting never hurts. Harry Potter loved the Iron Maiden girl. So he sat down at a park bench with his typewriter in hand, picked a poem from his heart, gave it to her. She almost cried because it's art. Held it in and she said, cool. He said, cool. She said, you want to do it? He said, cool. Meeting some friends later, so if we're gonna do it, better get right to it. He put a Beatles record on. She said, I prefer the Rolling Stones. He said, I have tattooed you. And she said, I do too. And they smiled. She had an eagle on her shoulder, a tattoo that she gotten from some guy at her apartments. It seems that she got some things her often. And the Iron Maiden girl loved Harry Potter And they didn't care about the past. All they cared about was now. Running for hills while Eddie's on the floor. All they think to say about it now was wow. Said, oh baby, but a man is what he was to the woman she'd been all along. One they both knew would leave all others in the dust. In the dust. In the dust. Her apartment pool was freezing. He said, you look like a mermaid's daughter. She said, anyone ever told you you look a little like Harry Potter? He says, I get that all the time. Then he slipped underwater. Then he pulled out his wand, a metaphor for his penis in the water, then got hotter. Thank you. I got two more for you. So next slide. So if you notice the Harry Potter girl, she kind of became this woman. And when I wrote this song, I needed a name for this song about having been involved with somebody where you had matching Van Halen tattoos, because that's the kind of thing you write songs about. And I was fishing around for a name. That I needed a girl's name in this song. I was like, Jackie. That sounds like it. And then I got this flash of this girl from high school. This could use incidental. I got this flash of this girl from high school named Jackie. And like, I remember Jackie. I hadn't thought about her in forever. And she was the head of the Tigerettes, our drill squad at Terrebonne High School. And Jackie always had this like perfect smile about her and these bright blue eyes, and Jackie was really tall, so when she'd talk to you, she'd kind of stoop over a little bit and look at you, which when you're like 17 is insanely intimate for just normal conversations. So I was like, oh, this song needs to be about Jackie, and maybe Jackie was the Iron Maiden girl, because I'm pretty sure, mostly because she went to my high school in 1987, had an Iron Maiden t-shirt. So maybe it was her. And I looked her up on Facebook and tried to draw her really well, and like still kind of looks like she did back then. And I failed miserably because she doesn't look anything like this. She actually looks like the ex-wife of a friend of mine, so I don't know what that's all about. But that ex-wife is probably someone I'd be more likely to have gotten Van Halen tattoos with. So. Well, Jackie, when we got our matching Van Halen tattoos, when they touched, it was magic, like Eddie and Dave at the Forum. Sure, there were nights, so when we drink and fight, we swear we were through. Eventually, we would see through our general indecorum. There's always a Sammy Hagar in the wings. Sure that you will be a big hit, but it's not the real thing. So like how I talked about how feelings are kind of suspect. This is kind of a dude trying to figure out what went wrong in a relationship. And the only paradigm he has to reach at is the breakup of Van Halen. Jackie, when you walked out that door for good, I felt tug in the ink that pulled me to you, even when our tattoos in the arms of others. Sure, there'll always be a comeback tour. Oh, my tattoo wants me and you wants the real thing. Oh, wants the real thing. All right, I got one final thing. This one definitely calls for incidental music. Next slide, please. So I was talking about things that, like, kind of, you know, when you're writing songs, whether it's the truth, whether it's not, whether it's a mishmash of things. This is one of the few songs I've ever written that, like, came fully out of true experience. I just recently drove my mom from Homa to Salt Lake City, where she moved, 2 days before the hurricane came in and just wrecked Homa. And, you know, this was like long in process. She sold her house 2 weeks before. And when I was looking at the maps, I was like, okay, 2 days, not too bad. We can make that little pit stop in Colorado. It's all right. It'll work. I'm sure somewhere in Durango I could create a diversion where I could duck in someplace. All this. My mom had a completely different idea. Next slide, please. Okay, this is the route she actually wanted to take. That she wanted to go see her brother in Revere, Missouri, because she had to bring some things to him. And I tried to get out of her what she was bringing. So what she brought, I should have done a slide for it. A hat and a Masonic Bible, both of which my brother already had. So there was really no reason to add this extra day to it. But we went to my brother's farm, and it seemed like, or my uncle's farm, and it's the farm we used to go to when I was a kid. And I was trying to remember the last time I was there, and it was probably when I was in high school. And I remember we were up there during the winter, and I had grown my hair out really long. And next slide, please. I grew my hair out really long, and I was wearing this sweater that my sister had made me, that she had drawn in paint pen a picture of myself. And in this image I had, which I was sure I dreamed, like my mom had a fur coat for some reason, and it was Christmas, and I remember walking out of the house down the hill because I couldn't stand any of them anymore, and the Mississippi was frozen over, and I walked out onto the surface of the river following some tracks of a four-wheeler or something. Came back, walked along train tracks to the house, and I heard something, and I turned around, and there was a train, like, right there, about to run me over, and just, like, ducked out of the way. And I was sure this whole thing was, like, I must have made all that up, like, just some melodramatic sense of things. But, next slide. Nope, that really happened. This is all. So, this final song is dedicated to my mom, about driving to Missouri, then across all of Iowa, all of Nebraska, all of Wyoming, to get to Utah. And the first thing you see in Utah is a big sign that says Echo, Port of Entry, for the first way station. And it just seems really meaningful after miles and miles of nothing. There is more Nebraska than any man can handle. You can only run on Runza 4,000 miles. There's no cover for the children of America. See it breaking down on the rise. hell, you might get lucky. Slip one past a sentry, gonna get all measured up. The Echo, port of entry. So we got to Salt Lake City, and we drove out to see the Spiral Jetty, which is amazing. If you don't know about the Spiral Jetty, you should look it up. Robert Smithson in the 70s put a bunch of basalt boulders out in the dry lake bed, forms a big spiral. Looks like a place where a UFO would land. And then you walk out about a quarter mile past the jetty out to where the edge of the lake is. And the water's ankle deep, and it's pink like you're on Mars. These mountains are the new ones. The lake is made of salt. It's pink from a process I've forgotten what it's called. There are no services if you want to get off. Check back in an hour and I'll be gone. Well, I leave my troubles behind me. I know that I have plenty. And the feedback I receive from the Echo, port of entry. So I just want to thank Yes We Cannibal, Liz, Matt, Gus. Thanks for having us in your place. I thank Will, Circle City Bandit. I apologize for calling the Circuit City Bandit a couple times. I thought about the Circumcision Bandit, and I was like, that's really just dragging that joke on too long. Thank you all for coming out. Well, I leave my troubles behind me. I know that I have plenty. And the feedback I receive from the Echo, port of entry. Thank you very much. My name's Alex V. Cook. I have a couple records over here for the Rakers, if anybody's interested, and I'll hang out for a minute. Thank you very much. Next slide.